So those are just some of the new features and improvements hitting our flagship products today. So as you can see, there are a lot more. And a lot of these are the result of your feedback. So thanks again for your input this year. Please keep it coming. Now, Terry mentioned Stock during his demo. Stock now offers a grand total of over 180 million assets, including 13 million videos, 32 million vector assets, motion graphics, illustrations, everything you need to start building a great project. It's just growing, so be sure to check out the latest in Stock. Okay, shifting gears. It was just about 30 years ago that we launched Photoshop. You remember? Who remembers the first time they used Photoshop? All right. I was 13, setting up a new computer at my parents' dining room table. Opening up Photoshop gave me this feeling of infinite possibilities. And over the decade, Photoshop has changed creativity more than any other application in the world. Last year, we shared a preview of Photoshop on the iPad. The project required us to reimagine Photoshop from the ground up. We transformed the interface for a mobile, touch-based world. We made the power of Photoshop more accessible and easier to learn. And we developed a new way to work with PSDs in the cloud, just as we've done with Lightroom and XD files, so that your projects show up across devices and you can pick up right where you left off. And when we shared the application with our pre-release community, one benefit people mentioned often was a sensation of being so close to your pixels, the physical connection you get when you're holding your work in your hand and making changes naturally. And so we are super excited to extend the Photoshop family to the iPad today. So this first version of Photoshop for iPad is perfect for compositing, easy masking, and retouching. And here to show you this revolutionary application is my colleague, Emily Bogue. Emily.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning. What an unreal honor to be here launching the very first version of Photoshop right here on the iPad. Let's jump right into a quick overview. So the first thing you'll notice is the experience is intuitive. On the left, I have my core Photoshop compositing tools. On the right, I have easy access to my layers, all those things I want to do with them, and my properties panel with different options depending on my layer type. So it's intuitive, it's so easy to just get started, and we've really focused on optimizing the experience for the iPad with new features like this focused layers view, which lets me keep my eyes on the canvas as I'm jumping in and out of groups and going about my work, and optimizations specifically for the touch environment. So always interacting with gestures wherever possible, like here in the header where I can just scrub to zoom in and out. We've even added a brand new touch shortcut. You can see it here, fully draggable around the screen. This gives me quick access to secondary actions depending on where I tap in the app when I hold it down with my thumb. So here in the Layers panel, for example, I can just tap to multi-select. And depending on what tool I'm in, like here in Move, where I can just swipe to duplicate. Really gives me these touch acceleration points that make working on the iPad quick and easy. So it's intuitive, it's optimized, but we know none of that matters if performance isn't fast, because when you're working in Photoshop, sometimes you can have hundreds, thousands of layers in the blink of an eye, huge files, and this is just one such PSD. You know, I began it on the desktop. It's over a gigabyte. It's got more than 500 layers, but performance stays smooth as I scroll through them all, and even as I zoom down into that very last pixel and bounce all the way back out. So, thank you. It's intuitive, it's optimized, it's fast, and most importantly, it's just a ton of fun to play with. So let's get started making something. And where better to begin than by making something totally new all right here on the iPad. So as I jump into creating a new document, you'll see that familiar screen, all those presets you know from the desktop. In this case, I have a custom one ready to go. Really easy to just get started. And I'll bring in a few images from my background from those same libraries Scott and Terry have been talking about. It's where I keep all my inspiration, my assets, like this moss, which is that texture I love, but you can see, you know, that bright sky is not exactly the look I'm going for here. And just like on desktop, I have those tools I need to start my selection, like lasso. And you'll see here as I complete my selection, on the iPad, we've really optimized that experience for the touch environment with that bottom bar. Surfaces those things I want to do next, like mask. And here in the Layers panel, you'll see when it's added, I'm dropped right into it so I can just start brushing to smooth out those edges and get a really nice blend going between my layers here. Let's bring all this together a little bit more using Gaussian blur. Now, this is one of the most popular filters in Photoshop, really powerful for creating this depth of field effect. And we'll just unify the composition through color using global adjustment layers. Really powerful. These work just like they do in desktop. You can see as I tweak the color here, I can get just that tone I want, and I can go back and edit this at any time here on the desktop today or next year. Great. So my background is ready. Now let's add a magical element, really make this composition pop. And back here in my libraries, I have this mushroom I've been wanting to use. You can see as I start this selection with my quick select tool, you know, it's this style I love, kind of a video game toadstool, but it's going to need a little work to really pop in this composition. And as I extend that selection using the lasso, something I really love about using the iPad and the Apple Pencil is that this actually feels really natural, even on stage in front of 20,000 people. It's just like tracing. Actually breathes new life into this tool, which cannot always be the most fun to use with a mouse. There we go. Again, I'm right in that mask, so I can just soften it using Gaussian blur. And then clean up those edges, taking full advantage of all that pressure sensitivity of the Apple Pencil. Really natural, gets that mushroom right where I want it. OK, so now let's add that pop of magic I was talking about, right? And here in the Layers Properties panel, we've made it really easy to add clipped adjustment layers. Now, this is something people want to do all the time, even if they don't know about clipping, and that's change the adjustment, change a property of just one layer. So as I add HueSat here, you can see, I'll bring up the saturation, only that mushroom is starting to glow. And again, that mask is added for me, so I can just start brushing to bring down where I've blown it out in the cap. That is the precision I expect from Photoshop. Cool. So I've got this lighting effect coming together. Let's really heighten that by playing with blend modes. And here I've got those blend modes I want, like overlay, which is my favorite for this type of work with glowing light. It's really easy to just grab a color, brighten it up a little bit, and as I start brushing here, again, full pressure sensitivity of the Apple Pencil, you can see immediately that mushroom is starting to glow. Really looks like the cap's illuminated. And then I can just go back in, add a little highlight anywhere I think it hits the rest of the image. And now that I'm thinking about that play between the glowing mushroom and the moss below, let's bring that even further with one more clipped layer. I can bring down that exposure and then just start painting on that mask to show a little light from that original layer beneath. Such a subtle effect. Really feels like I'm painting with light here. Cool. So I've blended my elements together. I've created this dramatic play between light and dark. Now, let's just top it off with a little fun. Back here in my libraries, I have some sparkle in the form of these fireflies. And this is another great place to use my blend modes, like screen. Makes it really easy to just bring only the light into the image. Saves me so much time, and then I can just create one more level of depth using Gaussian blur. There we go. In just a few minutes, I've gone from a totally blank canvas to this magical, completely non-destructively created composition, all in Photoshop and all right here on the iPad. Thank you. Now, everything we've seen so far is available on the iPad today. But there's one more thing I want to show you, and that's a quick sneak at just a few of the ways we're bringing our most powerful Sensei technologies from Photoshop on the desktop right here to the iPad very, very soon. Now, this is still under development, but keep your apps updated because it's coming very soon. And to start this one, I'll just jump into this cloud document I have, kind of an underwater composition I've got going, bridging these two worlds. I'll just make a quick edit, bringing in one more turtle. Never have too many turtles here. And of course, the next thing I want to do, sort of integrate this more tightly into the composition, start a selection, mask it out. And as we've seen already on the iPad today, I have options. I could use Quick Select. I could use my lasso tool, if I really wanted that fine-grained control. But it's a little time-consuming, kind of error-prone if I am on the bus, as Scott said. Of course, there's an easier way. If I were on the desktop, I would just use Select Subject. And we're bringing that full Sensei power of Select Subject right here to the iPad. All I have to do is tap this button, and there we go. I have to pause because if you blinked, you missed it, like in Terry's demo. In the tap of a button, Sensei has analyzed my layer, identified my subject, and started my selection for me. It saved me so much time in tracing. Really feels like magic here on the iPad. So that's Select Subject coming soon here to the iPad. And for this next sneak, I'll bring in an intrepid explorer to bridge these two worlds. This guy's up to the task. Of course, now that I have Select Subject, I'll use that to start. And it gets me 99% of the way there. But, never hurts to have a human touch. And of course, this type of hair is always tricky to select. If I were on the desktop, I would just use the Refine Edge brush. And again, we're bringing that full Sensei power of Refine Edge right here to the iPad. So let me give you a quick sneak. Just like on the desktop, all I have to do is start brushing to tell Sensei where I've got a complicated edge and I want it to focus its magic. And there we go. I sit back. It does all the heavy lifting. If you take a look at that mask mode, you can see every curl, every hair, perfectly selected. All I have to do is add any refinements I want, like decontaminate, and tap done. There's our little guy, all his beautiful curls, perfectly masked, all right here on the iPad. Again, thank you. I have to pause for a minute because this is so seamless that the full power can easily get lost, but it is impossible to make this type of complicated selection this quickly and this precisely without Refine Edge and all that Sensei power. It's just one more example of how we're bringing that power and precision you expect from Photoshop right here to the iPad. So to finish this composition, I'll just turn back on a few effects to focus the eye, and there we go. Select Subject, Refine Edge. These are just two of the amazing Sensei technologies we're bringing from Photoshop on the desktop here to the iPad very, very soon. And like everything else you've seen today, this is just the beginning. So if you already use Photoshop, download the app, load in a few projects, just start working. And if you're new to Photoshop, or maybe you've been overwhelmed by the desktop in the past, give us a try on iPad, because this is just the place to start. Thank you so much. Back to you, Scott.
So thanks, Emily. If you are a Creative Cloud customer with Photoshop, Photoshop on iPad is included in your plan starting today. It's also available on the App Store, and we have a really exciting roadmap ahead, as Emily said, so super excited.